Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CUTV Newscenter. I'm Danny Beck. Our top story tonight, California police have charged a man with vehicular homicide in connection with a fatal car crash that happened nearly a year ago. It happened on Malden Road on March 25th, just after 4 p.m. California Borough Police say 28-year-old Matthew Alexander Mace ran a stop sign at the intersection of Malden Road and East Malden Drive. The crash killed one woman and injured 5 others. Angie Marin Givens died as a result of her injuries from the crash. After conducting an exhaustive investigation, police say Mance faces charges of homicide by vehicle and other charges of careless driving that resulted in an unintentional death and caused serious bodily injuries. No date has been set on a preliminary hearing. A series of heavy rainstorms resulted in flooding along area streams and rivers over the weekend. Emergency crews in California reported moderate flooding along the Mon River on Friday night. The Cole Center Bridge flooded and water made its way up Mechanic Street, causing flooding in basements in low-lying areas. There were also reports of moderate flooding along Pike Run next to Rotary Park in California. Meanwhile, the Yaak River Park in Connellsville flooded on Friday afternoon. The Connellsville area was hit hard by this flooding, and Connellsville Mayor Greg Lincoln declared a state of emergency for the city of Connellsville. The National Weather Service said the flooding was a result of an intense weather system that spread rain showers and thunderstorms across the region over 24 hours that began on Thursday afternoon. Fire departments in the Mon Valley reported that Route 88 was flooded in various locations from California Borough to the Finleyville area. Brownsville and Washington County boasts a new building in their skyline as Iron Bridge Crossings opened earlier this month. The 62-plus senior living apartments hold 24 separate rooms, which include 20 single bedrooms and 4 double rooms. Amenities include on-site laundry, elevators, and a community lounge, along with an indoor parking garage that is connected to the building. This improvement to Brownsville sits just across the street from a newly created parking lot as a part of Operation Falcon Revitalization, which was finished in May of 2017. The cast iron amphitheater brings even more community involvement to the town, and with the multiple upgrades, the projects are hoping to revitalize the once flourishing town. A 200-year-old tavern in Washington County that was devastated by a fire nearly 3 years ago was set to reopen over the weekend. Fire nearly destroyed the historic Century Inn in Scenery Hill in 2015, and now 30 months later, the tavern had been restored and is ready for business. Here's just an inside look at the tavern just before they opened for a special Valentine's dinner celebration.
Yes, I'm very excited. We've all been waiting for 2 years, and so just kind of chomping at the bit, getting ready. The first floor is more or less the same because there were certain historical requirements to meet since it is on the National Historic Registry. Most of what you'll see is the way that it was. One exception is the chef room that's behind me. That's new. It has a window that looks in the kitchen. I'm a classically trained French chef, so we employ French techniques, and whenever we can, we buy as much of our product as close as we can. Finest ingredients we can and turn it into what we like to call rustic French cuisine. I'm proud of the staff that we've put together, and so I think we're going to produce a very good product.
Police say a burglar apparently drove a stolen golf cart to steal a Schwann's food truck over the weekend in Washington County. South Strabane Township Police say workers at the Schwann's delivery business along Route 136 returned to work on Monday and discovered that an office had been burglarized and one of the delivery trucks had been stolen. Now get this, workers found a green golf utility cart near the spot where the truck was stolen. The cart belonged to the Tower Golf and Entertainment Center on Berry Road. It is not known how the burglars got the stolen cart from the entertainment center to the Schwann's business, but police said they most likely drove the cart along Route 136. Police say the Schwann's truck was loaded with more than $6,000 worth of food, and the vehicle was valued at $70,000. Anyone with information about the stolen truck or the stolen golf cart are asked to call South Strabane Police. Fish fries are synonymous with the advent of the 40-day Lenten period. Here in southwestern Pennsylvania, churches, social halls, volunteer, and fire departments, also restaurants, swung into the action to feature fried or baked fish sandwiches, dinners, and platters. We stopped by the California Fire Department to get a look at the kickoff of the annual event and see what's cooking.
This is the start of our annual Lenten fish fry. We have it Ash Wednesday and every Friday through the Lent season, and it's a fundraiser for us. It's our single largest fundraiser we do throughout the year.
75, 5 and 6. Thank you, ma'am.
Our most popular item is our hand-breaded fish. We sell out of it every week. 100% fundraiser for us. Everything that we make at the fish fry goes to supporting the fire department, our trucks, our operating costs. This is our newest engine. It went in service last year. With all the equipment that's on it as it sits, it came in at approximately $850,000. And we're 100% volunteer, and nobody gets paid for this. We do it because we love it, I guess. The football team comes up, and then the college also sends up a group of students who participate and help us.
And 9. Thank you very much. I'll call your number when it's up.
100% of our proceeds from this event goes toward firefighting, and without it, we wouldn't be able to provide the service that we do provide.
When we come back after the break, Stephen Ruffing takes us on a trip around the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter, or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Welcome back to CUTV Newscenter. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your entertainment report. Earlier this month, on February 9th, comedian Jessie Mae Peluso made her way across the country for the first Funny Freaking Friday of the semester. I had the chance to talk with her and find out a little more about Jessie Mae.
It's interesting to see different parts of the country and what makes people laugh, what makes people tick, and what makes people feel. You know, it's really interesting to see how different it can be from Texas to Arizona to California to, you know, New York. So I grew up with a sister 4 years older, and I just loved entertaining her. You know, my parents were not tumultuous, but they argued a little bit, and so I think maybe to make the household a little fun and lighthearted, I would entertain my sister. You know, everybody, I say I don't portray anybody. I try to be as original as possible. Actually, I don't even try. I just am my own person. And I think I drew influences from physical comedy for sure. So I treated it like stand-up. I treated it like I was performing for you guys or a comedy club. And I brought some of my jokes on there, but a majority of it was just me reacting to what the material and they just let us loose, because there wasn't anything really like that on television with women, where we were celebrated for being bold about our opinions and what we thought about stuff. And I think that's why that show was so successful, because we gave girls a voice and we let them know they weren't alone. I want to be able to also go, hey, this was great, I really appreciate your time, and also life is short. You gotta love yourself, you have to love other people. That's what it's all about. For CUTV Newscenter, I'm Jessie Mae Peluso.
Go over to CalTime's Facebook page for more videos just like that one. During the org fair on February 8th, I walked around to learn more about the different clubs and organizations on this campus.
I think it's one of the most important things because we need fun things to do outside of classes and stuff like that we have interest in.
I think really important. I think it's great for students to get involved. Definitely helps build a lot of skills like communication, and you can put it on your resume then. So I think it's a great idea.
And we tell a lot of our new incoming prospects that we are a family as opposed to just a sports team.
I know without my organization, I don't know what I would do. In college is what you make it, so the more involved you are, the better experience you'll have.
Especially coming in as a freshman and a sophomore, find friends, find a sense of community with people that are like yourself.
I've actually been in archery ever since I was young. About 10 years old is when I picked up a bow. And ever since then, it's just been something that I found was really entertaining. It's easy to keep up with, but it keeps you interested and it helps both mentally and physically prepare you for things.
Somebody said that we had the most attendance for a basketball game for the guys and girls.
Heavy fighting, where we get to fight with baton sticks. We do a big mixture of things.
Typically, we tend to explore PR opportunities. We attend conferences and different social events on campus.
It's super important to get involved, and especially if you're interested in it, because it'll just make your college experience so much better.
Go to OrgSync for more information about the clubs and organizations on this campus. And our campus radio station, WCAL, has a number of talented DJs, and CUTV reporter Zoe Webster won't stop until we know them all. She shows us who's on the dial for this week.
Hi, my name's Zoe Webster, and today on the dial we're going to be interviewing Deshawn Thomas, our newest certified DJ. First, let's ask, how were you introduced to the station?
I was introduced because I had a friend that was, their major was CMT, and they was like, oh, come to the show, come to the radio stations, and so I can show you what I be doing. I'm like, oh, cool, that's great, and I want to do it too.
Do you have a show yet, or do you plan on having a show anytime soon?
I do have a show. The show is Saturdays nights 8 to 10.
Okay. And what kind of music do you plan on playing on your show?
So we're going to do soft R&B.
What is your favorite artist or your favorite song?
My favorite artist would be, I like Sam Smith a lot, and it's Too Good to Of course, that's my favorite song.
Okay. What's your major here?
My major is forensic science, and I'm minor in music right now. So I'm going to do a dual minor with chemistry and, get some science courses in there.
For CUTV Newscenter, this has been Zoe Webster on the dial.
The March edition of Funny Freaking Friday will come on March 2nd. CalU will be hosting Mike Paramore for the second comedy event of the semester. Paramore has opened for multiple comedians such as Damon Wayans, John Lovitz, and Jay Farrow. In addition to opening for such big names, Mike was a finalist in the 2014 World Series of Comedy and winner of the 2017 Laugh Fest Best in the Midwest competition. Join SAB and Mike Paramore on March 2nd at 7 p.m. in the Vulcan Theater for yet another Funny Freaking Friday. And to round out entertainment for this week, we have Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle in the Vulcan Theater. 4 high school kids discover an old video game console and are drawn into the game's jungle setting, literally becoming the adult avatars they chose. What they discover is that you don't just play Jumanji, you must survive it. To beat the game and return to the real world, they'll have to go on the most dangerous adventure of their lives. Discover what Alan Parrish left 20 years ago and change the way they think about themselves, or they'll be stuck in the game forever. Showtimes are 11 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 4, 7, and 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Danny, just talking about Jumanji, the remake after the first one was such a classic, kind of taking a little risk making this one, remaking it as a video game.
Yeah, it is. It's a very interesting way, and also the actors they chose for it with The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart.
A star-studded cast.
It is, very star-studded. But also something interesting for the people at home. Steve has never seen the classic, so can you call it a classic? I don't know.
Yeah, I can, because it is a classic. I just haven't seen it. I just never got around it. Maybe it wasn't my style of movie.
Yes.
But it's great. It's making a remake was a risk, and I don't know how the reception it got, but a star-studded cast. You have The Rock, you have Jack Black, you have Kevin Hart, Nick Jonas even makes his appearance in there. You have an array of characters, so we'll have to see it. I mean, it's a completely different movie from the original Jumanji, so, I mean... I'm
interested to see it. I want to see how Jack Black does in it, because I think he's one of those actors. It's hilarious, in my opinion. School of Rock, one of those guys that you think of when you think of classic movies for at least our generation. I'd put that in there. So it'll be interesting to see what his role is and how that really plays out as a video game. It'll be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I'm eager to see the kind of reception that it gets from a lot of people.
Well, thank you, Steve. And when we come back, Colin Kirkwood has your sports report. Stay tuned.
Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Oh, what a play. 18 universities.
How competitive is this?
23 championships.
It's over. We have new PSAC champs.
7,100 student athletes. Make the PSAC yours.
My PSAC is passion.
My PSAC is pride. PSAC is Pennsylvania.
Passion, pride, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
He's going to pull a three. Good. Over now, DJ Hahn. Three-pointer up and good.
Follow Vulcans basketball all season long. February 7th at Gannon. February 10th at UPJ. February 14th versus Mercyhurst. February 17th at IUP. February 21st at Seton Hill. February 24th versus Clarion.
Hello, I'm Colin Kirkwood, and welcome back to CUTV Newscenter. The Lady Vulcans returned home this past Wednesday to take on the Atlantic Region and PSAC West foe Seton Hill in a matchup with quite the importance. Let's take a trip over to the Convocation Center for the highlights. Take a look here. The Vulcans are on offense, working the ball around as they do so well. Shatara Parsons works her way inside, puts on the spin move, and that one is up and good off the backboard, something she does so well. And once again, it's Shatara Parsons pulling off a steal here, part of the bread and butter of this Cal Vulcan women's basketball team. Once again, Cal on offense here, continuing to work the ball over to DJ Hahn in the far corner, who puts up a long three, and that one is good. Big time shot for hers. She wasn't done there. Seton Hill trying to respond, and they have it stripped away by Mia Kushan, who pushes up the floor here in transition and gets that one to go despite the tight defense. A little bit later on here, once again on offense, it's Shatara Parsons putting one up with a lot of contact around, but that doesn't matter to her. She still managed to get that one to go. Here is DJ Hahn once again pulling up for a three, and that one is good. Long ball, her specialty. California would come away with a victory, 68-50, which marks their 22nd on this season. Shatara Parsons registered a double-double with 30 points and 10 rebounds. Mia Kushan tallied 12 points and then exited the game with an injury in the third quarter. DJ Hahn also chipped in 11 points. As Division II's version of the Big Dance approaches, the women's team here at Cal U figures to be a part of that tournament should they qualify. Let's take a look at the Atlantic region and how it stacks up currently. 3 automatic bids are awarded to the winners of the conference tournaments, and the rest are at-large berths. Take a look here as Cal is currently sitting in the 6th spot. Top 8 qualify. picking up a win over Seton Hill, who is the 8th seed, so that could have been detrimental to their season, but we'll see how Cal plays out the rest of the regular season. The men's basketball team also had a date with the Griffins on Wednesday night. Let's take a peek at some of their highlights. Here we see Cal on offense once again. Jameer House puts on his version of the spin cycle from earlier, and he gets that one to go. Working the ball around once again, it's going to be Robel Tech who's going to pull up and put away a long three. A lot of distance on that one. He's got a good three ball. Pushing it in transition are the Vulcans. Jordan Gessner almost loses it, but then sends it over to Jameer House, and boom shakalaka, and boom goes the dynamite. There it is. Working it around once again. Take a look at this. Terry Davis Jr. with a step back. Oh my goodness. Puts that one away. Nobody around him. Great move to get loose. Working around are the Griffins as they would not go away. Big three ball there as it bounced around for Trevor Blondin. He had himself quite a day yesterday in the Convocation Center. There he is once again receiving a low pass, and he was able to get a good layup in for that one. The Vulcans fell in this contest 84-64. Spencer Casson, who is also a player on Seton Hill, came away with a double-double against the Vulcans with 20 points and 12 rebounds. Isaiah Lewis tallied 12 points for the Vulcans, and freshman Philip Alexander also added 13. Jameer House also added 10 points to have 3 players on the roster eclipse double digits. Now let's take a look at the upcoming games for Vulcan Athletics. As I said earlier, the women's basketball team will be taking on Clarion at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Men's basketball will be taking on the Golden Eagles as well at 3 p.m. The baseball team will have a doubleheader this Saturday against Walsh from first pitch, coming at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. The track and field team is currently on the road for PSAC championships on Saturday, and the women's swimming team is in York, PA for the PSAC championships from today until Saturday. So Danny, Olympics going on right now. Big time game last night. USA women's hockey team comes home with the gold.
Yeah, and it started at 11 p.m. so kind of late. I don't know if you stayed up to watch the game, but I watched the highlights when I woke up this morning. Huge win for USA, and a great way to get the gold against Canada too.
Yeah, against Canada, and nonetheless they picked up a win in curling as well over Canada, and they're going to be playing for the gold medal in that too. So that's definitely something that's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, and a lot of young talent for this USA team this year. So it's good to see success coming out of USA.
That's right.
Thank you, Colin, and thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of CUTV Newscenter. Don't forget that the Cal Times will be releasing another edition of the newspaper next week across campus. Also, tune in to WCAL 91.9 in your car or online by going to sai.calu.edu/WCAL. Thank you for watching and have a great night.